the topic of mom guilt, you just feel this constant weight as a mom. And you can define it as guilt because of the way it feels, but it's not any kind of sin related. It's really nothing that you've done wrong. It's more based on what you think you should be doing, or these expectations that you see when you see these other moms that think like they have it all together, or you see these things on the entertainment on TV or whatever, and you just start feeling that you're just a lousy mom. And it doesn't change as the kids get older. You worry about whether you put them in the right school, whether they've got good teachers, whether you should have done a background check on all the teachers. And I mean, you just have this constant weight on your shoulders about whether you are doing the right thing for your kid. And you can define it as this mom guilt. You just feel like you're constantly failing. They get into junior high, they don't like you, and you feel like it's your fault. No, they're junior high. They're going through a phase, and you feel like they don't like you. They actually really love you. They just have no idea how to express it. You get into high school, or they get into high school, and you wonder if they're going to always think like you're the dumbest person in the world, which they don't. But you just feel like, man, I've just constantly made these mistakes. And then you add on top of all that, when you feel like a failure as a mother, then all the things about your own self-image, feeling failure as a wife because you're so exhausted from taking care of your kids, that you feel failure as a spouse. You're exhausted from all the running around that, and it gets progressively more busy. You think you're going to, once the kids get out of the 2s and 3s, that things will settle down. No, you're running them to sports. Now you're running them to a bunch of, different things. So you're exhausted. You have a tendency to lose your temper. And when you lose your temper, you think you've damaged your kid for the rest of their life, which is not true, but you feel like you have. You say the wrong things, and you give the wrong advice, and you again feel guilty about this. And then you feel like you're constantly being judged. This is Psalm 139, verses 13 through 18. Listen to this. It says, "You made all the delicate inner parts of my body and knit me together in my mother's womb." All right, so this is the psalmist talking to God, the Creator. And he says, "Thank you for making me so wonderfully complex. Your workmanship is marvelous. How well I know it. You watched me as I was being formed in utter seclusion, as I was woven together in the dark of the womb. You saw me before I was born. Every day of my life was recorded in your book. Every moment was laid out before a single day had passed. How precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They cannot be numbered. I can't even count them. They outnumber the grains of sand, and when I wake up, you are still with me." What a description of what God thinks of you. But I think that sometimes you just have to remind yourself, I feel like a failure. I feel like a terrible mom. I feel like a terrible wife. I just feel like a terrible person. You got to stop and realize what God thinks of you. I love the verse where it says, "Precious are your thoughts about me, O God. They cannot be numbered." It's not just one good thought that God had about you. They can't be numbered. God's precious thoughts about you as a mom, as a woman, they cannot be numbered. So here's your Creator who so intricately put you together exactly the way you are, and your days are numbered. They knew what your days were going to be like. God knew when you would mess up as a mom. He knew when you would be tired. He knew when you would feel like giving up. He had all that, and yet his thoughts are precious to you, and those thoughts cannot be numbered. I bring this up because sometimes you lose sight of how important you are. And moms are just that way. They sacrifice themselves, and they illustrate, I believe, they exemplify the sacrifice that Christ made. Another thing, a mom's love illustrates the unconditional love of God. Thanks for watching. We'd love if you'd subscribe to our Eastside Baptist YouTube channel. Just smash the logo right there. And if you want others to see this video, be sure and click the like button. Also, tell us what you think. We would love having your thoughts and your comments in the feedback below.